One of the most dangerous moments in life happens when you realize nobody is coming to help you. No mentor, no rescue, no sudden support that finally makes everything easier. Most people collapse at that moment, not because they are weak, because most people believe success requires encouragement, networks, family, mentors, and people who believe in them first. But in traditional Japanese philosophy, that moment meant something very different. It meant the beginning of real power, because there is a psychological system that replaces support. The moment nobody comes, there is a moment when you realize that if you stop trying tomorrow, almost nobody would notice. Nothing around you would change, and inside, you quietly begin to ask for help. In feudal Japan, there existed a type of warrior many feared becoming. A ronin, a samurai without a master, without a clan, without protection, without status. When a samurai lost his lord, he lost the system that structured his life. Many ronin became wanderers or mercenaries because survival became uncertain, but something else happened to some of them. Without a master, there was nobody left to impress, nobody left to disappoint. And slowly, something inside them changed. They stopped asking the world what they were allowed to become. They began deciding it themselves. The human mind evolved to survive through groups. For most of history, being alone meant danger. No tribe meant no protection. So the brain developed an instinct to search for validation before acting. Someone who says, "You can do this. You will succeed. You should try." But here lies the uncomfortable truth. The moment nobody confirms your path, something disappears. Negotiation. You stop negotiating with the world. And for the first time, you begin negotiating with yourself. If you have ever felt like you were the only person pushing your life forward, this moment will feel familiar. That shift is the beginning of inner authority. Chapter 2. Why your brain needs witnesses. Many people believe success requires support systems, networks, family, mentors, partners. These things can help. But the deeper reason people search for support is psychological. Support transfers responsibility. Most people are not waiting for support, they are waiting for permission. If others believe in you, failure feels shared. But when nobody believes in you, something frightening happens. If you have ever waited for someone to believe in you before you moved, you know how powerful that hesitation can be. Responsibility becomes absolute. If you continue walking, you cannot blame anyone. And that level of responsibility terrifies the human mind, because without witnesses, every decision becomes yours alone. Yet traditional Japanese training did not see this as a disadvantage. They saw it as the moment training truly begins. Chapter 3. The Man Who Walked Without a Clan. Most people do not fail because they lack ability. They fail because at some point they realize nobody is watching anymore. And in that silence, their effort slowly disappears. One of the most famous warriors in Japanese history lived most of his life in exactly that condition. Miyamoto Musashi. He was not protected by a powerful clan. He did not grow under a famous master. Much of his life was spent wandering alone, fighting duels, sleeping outdoors, learning through observation and repetition. Because no system protected him, Musashi had to build one inside himself, a way of thinking, a way of training, a way of acting. Later, he wrote something that reveals the core of his path. The way becomes clearer when one walks it alone. That sentence is not romantic. It is functional. When you walk alone, two things disappear: excuses and spectators. Without spectators, the mind becomes quiet. And in that quiet, something else appears. Clarity. Chapter 4. The System That Replaces Support. In Japanese martial culture, there exists a principle called Zanshin. It means continuous awareness, a calm readiness even when nothing appears to be happening. A swordsman practicing Zanshin does not wait for correction. He observes, he adjusts, he repeats. The same mindset appears in the learning structure Shuha-ri. First, you follow a form, Then you break the form. Finally, you create your own form. But the final stage cannot happen if someone is constantly guiding you. At some point, guidance disappears. And when it disappears, the student faces a question. Will you continue training without anyone watching? Or will you stop? Most people stop there. Because without recognition, effort feels invisible. But the Japanese warrior tradition understood something many modern people forget. Invisible effort changes identity faster than visible effort. Because when nobody sees your work, the only witness left is you. And that is where character is built. But there is something uncomfortable hidden inside the idea of support. The more your motivation depends on encouragement, the more fragile it becomes. Because the moment encouragement disappears, so does the reason to continue. Chapter 5. The training nobody sees. In Bushido, discipline was never practiced for applause. A warrior trained for moments without witnesses, moments when hesitation could not be discussed, when nobody would arrive to help. Training focused on removing hesitation, not by motivation, but by repetition. The sword was lifted thousands of times, the same movement repeated until it stopped being a decision. Because once an action becomes identity, the mind no longer negotiates with it. This is where many people misunderstand discipline. They think discipline means forcing action, but in its most powerful form, discipline removes the need to decide. The action simply happens. Chapter 6. The moment most people turn back. On any difficult path, there comes a moment when the mind whispers something convincing. You understand enough now? You can stop here. And this is exactly where most dreams quietly die. This is where most people turn back. Not at the beginning, but right after the first understanding appears. Because understanding feels similar to achievement, but they are not the same. Musashi did not stop when he understood the sword. He continued until the sword became part of his perception. That difference creates mastery. And it almost always happens in silence, because the most important transformation happens long before anyone else can see it. Chapter 7. When support becomes irrelevant. At some point, the external question disappears. Does anyone believe in me? It stops mattering. Not because the person becomes arrogant, but because identity has shifted. Action no longer depends on approval. It depends on alignment with one internal rule. Once a person reaches that point, support becomes optional. Encouragement becomes pleasant, but unnecessary. And loneliness stops feeling like abandonment. It starts feeling like space. The Ronin discovered it. Musashi lived it. And every warrior tradition that survived understood the same quiet truth. The moment nobody comes to support you, that moment changes everything. And this is why the people who succeed without support become impossible to stop. Because once you learn to move forward when nobody comes, you will never wait again.